The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for our first official look at Game of Thrones Season 8. That's right, folks, we now have some actual footage and dialogue from the final season of Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've been following me on Twitter or not, but I had a very good feeling that HBO would drop some footage this weekend, simply because these things tend to happen whenever I'm not at home. I'm actually in North Carolina at the moment visiting one of my close friends, and I just so happened to look at my phone and see a notification from HBO's YouTube channel. And sure enough, what do you know? HBO dropped another teaser for Game of Thrones, so I had to drop everything and rush back to my hotel room so I could get my initial thoughts out to you as soon as possible. Luckily, I did have the foresight to bring all my recording equipment with me because, like I said, I did have a really good feeling that something like this would happen this weekend. But anyways, let's get into the short teaser from HBO. It definitely looks like the teaser confirmed who Sansa may have been looking at when they released the short clip of Jon and Sansa hugging a few months ago. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Sansa was looking at Daenerys Targaryen, and I do have to say, these ladies are looking gorgeous. Good lord. But let me stay on track here. Before we go any further, why don't we take a look at the clip, then we can talk about what is happening in that scene.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace. Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
So as you can see in the short video clip, Jon and Daenerys have arrived in Winterfell to prepare for the upcoming war against the Night King. In this scene, Jon and Sansa are already standing next to each other as Daenerys and Jorah Mormont begin to approach Sansa. I would say that this is expected because Jon of course would want to hug Sansa first before he starts to introduce her to all these other characters that he has brought with him. After Sansa and Daenerys do greet each other, we hear Sansa say, "Winterfell is yours, Your Grace." Now some of you may be wondering why would Sansa say something like that, but you have to remember, Jon is technically no longer the king in the north because he did bend the knee to Daenerys Targaryen. Jon has recognized her as the true Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, therefore Winterfell is Dany's. Now if you remember back in the first season, Ned Stark said the exact same thing to Robert Baratheon.
Cat.
Your Grace.
9 years. Why haven't I seen you? Where the hell have you been?
Guarding the north for you, Your Grace. Winterfell is yours.
So as of right now, Jon would technically be the Warden of the North, just like Ned Stark was. However, I believe that Sansa will remain as the Lady of Winterfell, while Jon spends most of his time commanding the troops. Well, that is until Jon finds out who he truly is, which we all know Jon is the true heir of the Iron Throne, and not Daenerys, but we will cross that bridge at a later time. It does look like Sansa and Daenerys could actually get along with each other, and I think that without Littlefinger being around to influence or manipulate Sansa, she might actually put aside any differences she may have with Daenerys for the greater good of the realm. With the Night King heading their way, they really don't have time for any unnecessary fighting amongst each other. However, this is Game of Thrones after all. What are the chances that all of these characters get along with each other during the downtime? It's probably not very likely, especially when we know that Jaime Lannister is on his way there as well. Things should start to really get interesting when he arrives in the north. But another thing that I do want to point out is who Daenerys was with when she greeted Sansa. Daenerys was standing next to Ser Jorah Mormont, who we all know is related to little Lyanna Mormont, one of Jon's most loyal supporters. I don't know about you, but I'm very interested in seeing Jorah and Lyanna Mormont interact with each other. I do imagine that Lyanna will have some harsh words for Jorah, when you consider he embarrassed their entire family by his actions.
I fought beside them once. Long ago. Now Ned Stark wants my head. He drove me from my land.
You sold slaves.
Aye.
Why?
I'd no money and an expensive wife.
But I also imagine that he will be forgiven when she learns that Jorah also volunteered to go out beyond the wall with Jon Snow. We all know that Jorah has made some mistakes, but he has already been forgiven by Jon and Daenerys. Now I'm also anxious to see how Daenerys and Arya Stark get along with one another. I know that some people thought Arya and Daenerys could bump heads because of Dany's relationship with Jon. but Arya might actually get along with Daenerys more than Sansa does. If you remember when Arya was Tywin Lannister's cupbearer, she revealed that she took interest in the history of the Targaryens. More specifically, the female members of House Targaryen.
Rhaenys rode Meraxus. Visenya rode Vhagar.
I'm sure I knew that when I was a boy.
Visenya Targaryen was a great warrior. She had a Valyrian steel sword she called Dark Sister.
She's a heroine of yours, I take it.
When Arya sees Daenerys taking those dragons into battle, I imagine she will have an enormous amount of respect for her, but only time will tell. I just know that is another meeting that I am interested in getting to see next season. But we all know which reunion trumps all of them in my opinion. That is the reunion between Jon and Arya.
All the best swords have names, you know.
Sansa can keep her sewing needles. I've got a needle of my own.
Now, we don't get any signs of this in the short clip HBO just released, but I guarantee Arya is standing just out of frame in that scene. If you watched my episode 1 breakdown video I just released a few days ago, then you would know how crazy this scene is about to be. There will be reunion after reunion during this initial opening scene at Winterfell. Now, we all know we're going to see Sansa and Jon reunite, of course, but we will also see Jon and Arya reunite, Jon and Bran reunite, and some other characters that we have all been dying to see. Characters like Tyrion and Sansa, Sandor Clegane and Arya Stark, and Gendry and Arya Stark. This should make for one hell of an opening scene, which I know I cannot wait to see in just a few short months. Make sure that you keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be getting a full trailer very, very soon. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on too long because this was only like a 5-second scene that HBO released. But as I said, once that official trailer drops, I will overanalyze the shit out of every single frame they release. Until then, make sure you watch my episode breakdown videos I have been releasing as of lately. I'm currently working on the 3rd episode as we speak, and as you all know, the 3rd episode of Season 8 will be one of the greatest episodes in television history. Stay tuned, my friends, because more Game of Thrones is right around the corner. I want to thank everyone for watching this video about my initial thoughts of the teaser, and I also want to thank everyone for supporting my channel during the off-season. I really do appreciate that. I hope you all have a great night. I will see you again very soon. Bye.